My kids have paid our house note for June and July, and it's just been very hard. So I'm just trying to not have a nervous breakdown. So thank you.
This opening immediately throws us into the raw human struggle behind courtroom formality. The defendant, Chloe Lucenda Whited, isn't just fighting a legal battle, she's fighting to keep her life together. You can hear the exhaustion in her voice. Months of unpaid bills, family stepping in, and the fear of losing everything. This isn't a hardened criminal story. This is about someone crushed by circumstance. It's also the setup for one of Judge Simpson's most compassionate exchanges, where law meets empathy head-on. For context, this hearing revolves around bond violations tied to missed drug tests. But as we'll soon see, the violation isn't about defiance, it's about survival. Chloe's license suspension, job loss from Uber, and cascading debt create a perfect storm. The defense lays it out clearly. Her mental health, financial collapse, and family dependence are all intertwined. This is where courtroom humanity replaces cold procedure. And Simpson's reaction later cements why this clip resonates so deeply with viewers who believe justice should see the person, not just the charge.
Ms. Whitsett's coming up. She stands to my right. Ms. Whitsett, please state your name for the record.
Chloe Lucenda Whitsett.
All right. Okay, what are we doing today? We might have a slight problem here. But
Yeah, that's okay.
In terms of bond?
yes.
Do we want to start with bond or
We
the
should.
date? Okay.
Yeah. What happened? I've got
Would you like me to speak for Ms. Whitsett or would you like to swear Ms. Whitsett in?
whichever. I
I'll-
mean, I've got three, not only just you just didn't report. I don't know
yeah.
what's going on.
Yes, Judge. I'll speak for Ms. Whitsett. We've discussed this at length at this point. I understand my co-counsel, or not my co-counsel, but my coworker was standing in for me at the last hearing. And we adjusted the testing so that it could be more affordable and a closer drive for Ms. Whitsett. Unfortunately, because of this not undue hardship, but because of the hardship she is facing in her life, it's continuing to be an issue. She's having a hard time. Her license has since been suspended since the previous hearing. And then
Not from this, from something else.
Not from this, yes, from something else, an unrelated ticket out of Romulus. And it was not something that she picked up. It's a payment plan that she's on. That's something from before this. It's not something I represent her on. So I'm not fully privy to what's going on with that. But and then she was fired from Uber due to that, or at least due to her pending case in here. So she's been without a job. She applied for disability about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Here's where the defense builds the foundation of empathy. And smartly so. By framing the defendant's hardship as systemic rather than willful neglect, they invite the judge to see Chloe as someone stuck, not reckless. Notice how the lawyer emphasizes continuous effort, disability forms, food stamps, emergency assistance. That's strategy. It paints a picture of persistence, not apathy. From a legal standpoint, this matters. Judges weigh intent heavily during bond violation reviews. A missed drug test can be excused if genuine hardship or compliance effort exists. The defense plays that card flawlessly. They also avoid overplaying emotion. Instead, they present paperwork, communication, and tangible progress. This shifts the hearing from punitive toward rehabilitative. Would you watching this say Chloe deserves jail? Or one more chance? That's the real tension here. It's not about law versus emotion. It's about how the justice system decides which one wins in that moment.
Disability based on her physical and mental disabilities, and then also food stamps and emergency assistance. She keeps continuously filling those out. And so I would just ask that this court give her more chances. Allow her to stay out on bond. This is something I really think has a lot to do with her mental health. I have continuously submitted documentation to Attorney Hughes' sister counsel on her mental health. I have not submitted those to the court because I was not sure if this was the time or the place or the forum to be submitting those mental health records, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's why Ms. Hughes is in receipt and the court is not. But at this time, we would just ask that she, still be able to try to continue to test. I want to work with her daughter and her daughters and her son, maybe to help facilitate the testing as well. I have not taken a personal role in it, besides being her attorney and counsel, but I can help try to coordinate. I understand, and there was one issue. The third test is the 24th, which was yesterday. Today is the 25th, I believe. It's confusing because her color is blue and her color was called today. She played the thing for me out there, unless she has the wrong color. I'm not sure why that one's considered a missed
or
test.
she might have gotten it back to back. She could have.
Okay, so that's something that's possible.
That's
okay.
random nature.
Yeah, absolutely. So she is going to be testing today. We have discussed that because she has to test by 7 today. So she will be testing today, especially since she's, already here. So.
Okay.
That's the extent of what I have, Judge. I would just ask that we don't lock her up. We don't remand her. We allow her to continue. I do think remanding her revoking bond would be something that would be detrimental to her mental health. I think that as we continue to strive and work towards helping Miss Whitsett, she will improve.
This is the plea moment. Subtle but loaded. Every word here carries stakes. The defense appeals to the court's conscience, not just its authority. Locking her up would be detrimental to her mental health. That's a strong ethical frame. In courtroom reality, this argument often divides opinion. Should compassion override accountability? Judge Simpson, known for balancing firmness with humanity, is being tested. This defense doesn't deny failure. It contextualizes it. They admit errors, show effort, and shift focus toward recovery, a high-level mitigation strategy. If you've ever seen defendants spiral after remand, you know what's at stake. Jail doesn't just punish, it can dismantle fragile stability. Viewers can feel that tension between policy and mercy, building towards Simpson's ruling. Question for you: is justice achieved by enforcing every rule or by understanding when life itself has already punished enough?
That's what I have to say for this honorable court. Thank you.
Is there anything from the people at all?
There isn't, Your Honor. I don't think that's the court's discretion.
Ms. Whitsett?
Yes, sir.
What's wrong?
No, I'm trying not to cry, but it's been hard. Since this case, it's just been, since I caught the case, because I just don't feel that I've been shown real justice until, I'm sorry, but I've just been having a lot of problems. And because of the case, I lost my job with Uber. I haven't worked for 8 weeks, which is about 2 months now. So that, my kids have paid our house note for June and July. And it's just been very hard. So I'm just trying to not have a nervous breakdown. So
This is the emotional core of the video. Chloe's voice cracks as she explains losing her job, her income, and her peace. For the audience, it's an unfiltered breakdown, the kind that turns a procedural hearing into a mirror of real-life despair. But listen deeper. She's not blaming anyone. She's confessing exhaustion. In legal hearings, this type of candor can shift tone instantly. It humanizes the defendant, diffusing adversarial tension. Judge Simpson doesn't interrupt. He lets her speak. That's rare. It signals active empathy, which later shapes his leniency. This isn't weakness. It's judicial discretion used wisely. The moment forces us to ask, when someone's life is unraveling, should the justice system add weight or help lift it? You can almost feel the courtroom pause, every person recalibrating from judgment to understanding.
thank you.
She's going to therapy, Judge, continuously. She's now made the bridge of, I'm working with her therapist as well, or at least the three of us are working in tandem. And I have that documentation I can send to the court. I just didn't.
No, you're good.
Okay.
Ms. Whitsett? You knew you missed the test. And you knew you had to come here.
Yes, sir.
And what were you thinking when you were coming in here? You were probably thinking, what is that crazy man going to do?
No, sir. I said to myself, Lord, please don't let Judge Simpson lock me up. I know I messed up. I know I tried to get the little $12, and then it's a big confusion about the drops because when Miss Wild was not here, I could not get her a return call to tell me again where the drop place was. So when I Googled it, All County Dropping is on Rochester Road in Troy. And that's where I went to. And that's where they wanted too much money. But the place that I go now, the first initial drop, they said it was only 50. That wasn't, it was 45 plus the 12. Plus they wanted $25 to send it to the lab. And I was like, well, I guess you can't send it to the lab because I don't have $25. But I mean, it comes back positive for only, THC, which I have my card, but it just was just like a big fiasco. I'm like, what am I doing?
All right, let's back up a second, Miss Winston.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to keep reminding you of this. First time you walked in, we met each other. Right? Remember?
Yes, sir. I was having problems.
You were. And you were trying your best to make me one of your problems. Yes, you were.
Not intentionally, sir.
But what?
Not intentionally, sir. Not by no.
Yeah, people don't intentionally try to make me one of the problems. Sometimes it just happens. So,
You're good. You're okay.
the reason I bring that up is because I think it's important to realize where we started. And then, but don't hang your head about that, because then you walked in next few times, kind of got yourself straight, realized I wasn't going to bite your head off, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And we were able to talk to each other. And instead of you kind of yelling at me, having me try to understand stuff, you just talk to me. Right?
Yes, sir.
And particularly the last time that you were here, it went a whole lot better because we were able to at least communicate and talk with each other about what was happening with you and what the real issue was. The funny thing about that, Ms. Whitsett, is, and I'm a firm believer in this, and that is that most difficulties or obstacles that are out there, people take their time, take a deep breath, don't look to overreach, explain what it is, and if everybody's kind of working, we can solve those. Yeah. Right? Now, the reason I bring up the first time and then I bring up this time is this. When I saw this bond violation report, my office let me know about the bond violation report. My first words out of my mouth was I had to yell out your name because I wanted to make sure it was you.
This is peak character insight into Judge Simpson. His reaction, literally shouting her name, isn't anger. It's disbelief mixed with personal investment. He remembers her progress, her attitude shifts, their previous encounters. For judges, that memory matters. It turns the case from file number to personal story. Legally, he's outlining a key principle: credibility through consistency. Because Chloe showed progress before, he now has reason to extend benefit of doubt. That's judicial reasoning layered with human trust. This sequence transforms the courtroom dynamic. It's no longer defendant versus system. It's mentor versus student, accountability with empathy. Ask yourself, do we want more judges like this? Ones who remember, engage, and personalize justice? Or should they stay detached? This exchange makes that debate come alive.
Here's the reason I wanted to make sure it was you. Because you told me the last time you were going to have all of this, it was all going to be in order. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now here's the great thing about it. I can choose, even despite what your counsel says, to believe that you just didn't want to do this at all. Right? Or I could choose to believe, as your counsel is giving me, that you ran into obstacles and you're trying to figure out your way around them to do the testing. Again, why I bring up the first time and the last time that we met? Had the last time that we met, and then I get this, had it been right after that first time, I would have just said, you don't want to do this. You would get no, I would not give you the benefit of the doubt of anything. Here's the great thing about Ms. Whitsett. I can give you the benefit of the doubt now.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Because I know, after I think maybe the last two times, you're trying. And sometimes when people try, things don't work out. And then I have to give you all the credit in the world that you walked in here today. There's a whole lot of folks that they would have had this and they would have been running in the other direction, especially trying to come and see me. They would have been running in the other direction because they weren't even going to try to explain it. When you lost what happened in Romulus, and like counsel said, she's not representing you, but I know what happened. I can tell. You didn't pay some tickets early on. You worked into a payment plan.
Yes, sir.
You were supposed to make that payment plan. And we miss on that payment plan, then it reverts back to where it was, and now your license is suspended. That's what happened.
That's exactly what. Because I knew I had made payments on it, but not in June and July. And I thought I had grace, but I didn't.
Okay. So here's the deal. I'm not going to violate you. I'm not going to incarcerate you. I'm not going to do anything, because what I know is that if you had the money.
Here's the emotional climax, the decision. After weighing hardship, mental health, and intent, Judge Simpson rules with compassion. He refuses to incarcerate Chloe, identifying her issue not as criminal defiance, but economic collapse. This is really an economic issue, he says. And that line hits hard. It's a rare judicial acknowledgement that poverty often fuels noncompliance. This ruling reframes the courtroom as a place of restoration, not punishment. Simpson's choice prevents a domino effect, losing her bond, her therapy, her fragile stability. Instead, he gives her space to rebuild. From a storytelling standpoint, this is relief and redemption rolled into one. The audience exhales. Justice, for once, feels human. But here's the question that lingers. Is empathy sustainable in a system built on enforcement? How many other defendants never get this break?
You would have done the test. And if you had had even a pool of little money to do whatever, you would have tried your best to try to do this thing I got to do this thing. You would have tried to do that. There is not a doubt in my mind that that's what you would have tried to do.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you so much. Because I thought I was.
I told her, Judge, to be frank.
I said,
I was like, what are the phone numbers? You're getting remanded. We prepped for it, but I prepped to argue, but I was very scared.
You guys should have sent her.
No.
I told you I told you they'd be ready.
We were not ready.
But said I wasn't going to do that to you.
thank you, sir.
Because even when I looked at the report, I just said, there is no way, as far as we had gotten, just trying to understand and work through this case, that you were just going to just not go 3 times in a row. It just wasn't going to happen. Now, one thought did cross my mind. And the one thought was, well, maybe she did. Because now she's going to act like she did the first time she came in here. And she's just saying, I ain't going to do what Simpson says. I don't know. That just crossed my mind. I said, nah, that's not. All right. So I'm not going to violate you. I'm not sending you. We've got to get you back on track with testing. We got to figure that out. I don't like sending people. I don't like sending people to jail in any event, but I certainly don't like sending them because this is really an economic issue. I mean, outside of, you know, the therapy and that and trying to work through things, the grand reality of this is you don't have the money. And it's cascading down. You lose your license. Not only do you lose your job because of this case, and next thing you know, because you lost your job, you now can't pay the payment plan you entered into. You can't keep up. So now you've lost your license, which then makes it even more difficult to get a job. And then you can't get to testing. Not only financially, but you can't drive yourself to testing.
Right.
So what do you think I should do, Ms. Woodside?
This is where we see vulnerability transform into mutual respect. The judge isn't testing her. He's inviting accountability, asking, "What do you think I should do?" is powerful because it shifts control back to the defendant. It's no longer a command, it's a reflection moment. Chloe responds humbly, admitting fault and thanking him for believing in her sincerity. That humility softens the entire courtroom atmosphere. From a behavioral view, this moment is textbook restorative justice. The goal isn't punishment, it's awareness and responsibility. Simpson's tone teaches rather than condemns, setting an example of how empathy can coexist with authority. The audience here gets a quiet yet profound shift. The law humanized. It's rare to see a defendant speak this openly without being cut off, and rarer still for a judge to listen this patiently. Question for you: should more courtrooms embrace this kind of conversational justice, where dialogue replaces fear?
Your Honor, your discretion is the best. I can't, I obviously, I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to be violated, but I can only say thank you for believing that I'm not trying to blow things off and that I am taking this very seriously. It's just so many things, and the job part and all of that is not even the cause of me catching this case it's just,
I know.
it's horrible. It's just a big, like I say, just a big, and I just have to, but I thank you though for your candor and understanding. I do, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. So let's do a couple things. Right now, you got a way to keep a roof over your head, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's important, real important.
This line feels simple, but it's layered with meaning. When Simpson says real important, he's grounding the case in humanity again. A roof over her head isn't just a lifestyle condition, it's the foundation for compliance. Judges know instability breeds relapse, missed hearings, and despair. He's signaling that survival itself is part of rehabilitation. Financial and emotional security aren't luxuries, they're legal necessities if the goal is reformation. The conversation transitions from punishment logistics to life stability planning, which shows how nuanced true justice can be. At this stage, Chloe's responses grow steadier. She's no longer pleading, she's engaging. It's a visible emotional shift from panic to participation. For viewers, this section captures what many miss about bond cases. Most violations are logistical traps for people living paycheck to paycheck. Simpson's awareness dismantles that cycle for once.
Okay. You're going to therapy now, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you got your way of getting yourself there, right?
And I dropped there also.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
So, but you're getting to that.
They have transportation, and my son works nights. So he's been able to take me to my last two appointments. Because I
Not to interrupt, Judge, but I do know her daughters are quite involved as well.
Trying to make sure she gets there. Okay.
Yes.
So here's the deal. Ms. Whiteside. I'm going to cancel your testing till the next hearing.
This decision is monumental. Temporarily suspending testing isn't leniency, it's strategy. The judge removes an impossible burden to reset her compliance path. That's a critical legal maneuver. Compassion used as a tool for better outcomes. In real courts, routine drug testing is often an invisible tax on the poor. Each test costs money and time, risking further violations if missed. By pausing it, Simpson acknowledges that punishment for poverty serves no purpose. He still enforces accountability through trust. I'm just going to trust you that you're not using. That's not naive. It's controlled faith, one that encourages moral responsibility instead of fear-based compliance. This single ruling transforms the emotional energy of the case. You can feel everyone exhale. Even Chloe's voice shifts to gratitude and relief. Question: is a system built on punishment capable of producing outcomes like this without compassionate judges like Simpson?
But I'm doing that because, number one, you're being tested elsewhere, kind of, but we can't get some of those reports, and they don't test at the level we test at. I also see over the course of this what's showing up in your test. And quite frankly, you need a break. You just need something good to happen.
Going to church.
Pardon?
I said, I've been going to church. No, seriously,
Sorry.
I have. I'm laughing, but I'm very serious.
Okay. So I'm going to give you a break. I'm not going to have you test it. Or we're going to put this out to the beginning part of September.
Okay.
And so for the month of August, I'm just going to trust you that you're not using, not doing things you're not supposed to be doing, but I don't want you out there stressing about the testing. That's one thing, at least for that period in time, that's now off your plate.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. And to say, speak to the drug testing, I have been clean since 2021 and have not dropped a dirty since that time. So
Except THC.
except THC, I'm sorry. But
That's
for
okay.
illegal drugs or alcohol, no, I have not.
Just need to be clear.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you so much. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So when we do adjourn this, then this probable cause conference. You think that'd be enough time for you to get what you're looking to try to get done, counsel?
Yeah, I submitted, me and Ms. Hughes, or Attorney Hughes and I have been talking. She's been wonderful to work with.
Really?
Yes,
Seriously?
seriously.
Wow.
Hard to believe, I know.
I know.
Right?
Crazy.
Prosecutors, man. No, I'm just kidding. She's been wonderful. I submitted deviation and mental health documents as I received them. And I do believe you need time. She needs time to work with the victim advocate, I believe.
We want to communicate more with the victim.
Wait them and see. Okay.
This dialogue highlights teamwork across opposing roles. Defense and prosecution aren't clashing here. They're cooperating for the defendant's welfare. That's rare in courtroom drama, and even rarer in reality. Attorney Hughes and the defense coordinating over mental health documentation signals a shared recognition. The case isn't about defiance, but restoration. By extending time for therapy and social services coordination, they're building a safety net around Chloe instead of tightening chains. For legal viewers, this illustrates the evolving function of modern courts. Less adversarial, more therapeutic. It's subtle reform happening in real time. To the audience, it's also a reminder that justice doesn't always roar. Sometimes it quietly agrees. And that quiet agreement can save someone's future. Would you say this is mercy or maturity in motion? That's what separates punishment from progress.
So I'm going to adjourn this out to September 5th, 2024, 9 a.m. or as your invite indicates. Okay? I'll continue your bond. Can we send an order over or something, just letting them know that she doesn't need to test until
Judge, her color was called today. Should she just test today for good faith and then this can be her last test or no?
where's the money coming for you to test?
My son. My daughter gave me the Uber fare. No, I'm joking.
No, it's okay. You're good.
She doesn't need to test today.
Okay.
Keep your money.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Judge.
you, Your Honor.
So the lesson in this, Ms. Wood said, is what?
Be diligent, get myself together and get on these drug testing.
This is the moral anchor of the entire case. Judge Simpson's tone here changes from procedural to almost pastoral. He isn't just ruling, he's teaching. You just have to hang in there. It's a message that transcends the courtroom. When he says the only thing that makes the good times look good is when you're sometimes going through bad, it's a profound statement about resilience. He's not excusing mistakes. He's redefining them as part of growth. For the viewer, this feels like closure. We've watched tension dissolve into trust. Chloe's tears aren't just relief. They're validation that compassion still exists inside an often mechanical system. Moments like this turn a courtroom clip into something bigger, a human story about second chances. It's worth asking, how often does justice sound like hope?
Well,
In September.
there's that, but it's a bigger lesson.
I'm
Right.
sorry. I'm sorry.
That is that you just have to hang in there. The only thing that's going to make the good times look good is when you're sometimes going through bad times. Because it's all relative. So let's try to work towards some good things here. And give you a little breather. Give yourself a little breather. And the important thing is to be kind to yourself, because then it's easier to be kind to others.
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
I'm not going to cry again.
Okay. Please don't. Right? So, Ms. Whitsett, like I said, it's a lot of things. I always wake up every day and I say, I want to see a miracle. And when you came in that second time, after you acted that way that first time, that was my miracle for that day. Okay?
Sir.
So see, we're able to deal with each other, and I can trust you that you're going to do what you need to do.
Another miracle.
There you go. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
The case ends on a symbolic note. Judge Simpson calls Chloe's progress a miracle, tying the arc back to humanity. It's a rare exchange where judge and defendant part not as opposites, but as people who understand each other's struggle. His words echo the theme of redemption. That transformation is possible when someone chooses to believe instead of condemn. Legally, the judge upheld discretion. Morally, he restored dignity. That balance is what gives this moment its viral impact, the law breathing with compassion. For anyone watching, this isn't just about Chloe. It's about every defendant who walks in feeling broken and walks out feeling seen. If you found this case as powerful and emotional as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Trial Truth for more gripping courtroom breakdowns that remind us what justice really looks like.